One time I was planning a sleepover, me and my bestie Missy, and we were making a list of all the stuff we wanted to do at the sleepover, and one of the things she put on the list was get out the good bowls. Because a popular girl was gonna come named Bridget, and we like wanted to impress her, and all the bowls at my house sucked, but we had like 3 bowls that were good bowls and matched. And we did. We got out the good bowls. But then she didn't come. What the heck, Bridget?
I'm Jaime Fritz. I need all you dozens of viewers out there to just tell me how you like this, alright? Welcome to this show.
Hey guys, I'm so glad you can make it to my sleepover. My mom said as long as the music's not too loud, we can make up a dance in the living room, and then we can make bagel bites, and then whenever she goes to bed, we can prank call boys from our class. I was thinking we could call Drake, but when his mom answers the phone, we could ask for Drakey Boo. That was a true story. And then I was thinking we could play MASH, and then we could watch a Mary-Kate and Ashley movie, but I'm Mary-Kate. And then tomorrow morning, your parents have to pick you up because my mom said she can't drive all 100,000 of you home. Welcome, friends, to another episode of Makeup and Movies, which I haven't done in, I don't know, several months. Today I wanted to talk to you about the 2004 coming-of-age comedy Sleepover. So if you can't tell, I just thought it would be fun to like have a sleepover while we talked about it and, you know, do each other's makeup. This movie has a star-studded cast. In fact, one BuzzFeed article I read referred to this cast as hella stacked. Such a 2004 thing to say. We got Steve Carell, Brie Larson, Alexa Vega, that girl from Aquamarine, Jane Lynch. It seems like a lot of people signed on to this movie just before their careers had really taken off. And we, my friends, are going to reap all the benefits today. You guys have been asking me to review this movie since the beginning of time, and I didn't want to do it.
I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it.
For no other reason other than everyone else in the world has already reviewed it, including 2 creators that I really, really love, and I just felt like they did it so well. Does the world really need my take on it? But then I watched it, and I had the feeling you get when every single frame of a movie is so cringe that it makes you want to rip your hair out, but also makes you want to jump for joy because it's so bad.
The net rocks.
That's what I felt watching Sleepover. So put on your sleep mask, get out the good bowls, and let's have a sleepover while we talk about Sleepover. We interrupt this program to let you know that today's video is brought to you by ExpressVPN. You ever just be scrolling through the internet and you feel like maybe someone's watching you? Like peeps know what you're up to, what you're looking at? Do you feel insecure? Maybe you want to do some research that you don't really want people knowing about, you know? Like maybe you want to Google how to speak dolphin. Maybe you want to know how to become a mime because you're literally obsessed with mimes, but you want to keep your mime obsession a secret. Well, friends, ExpressVPN protects your privacy online by encrypting your connection. But even cooler than that, it helps you get access to worldwide content that you wouldn't normally have access to. So for example, if there's a show on Netflix that you really want to watch, like Friends, hello, this girl. You just open ExpressVPN, tell it you're in another country, and then you can use popular apps and services that are not accessible where you are. And I get to watch the pivot scene anytime I want. So guys, to find out how you can get 3 months free of ExpressVPN, you can visit expressvpn.com/French, or just click the link in the description box below. Again, that's expressvpn.com/French, or click the link in the description box below. For real though, everybody should have a VPN. Like even if you don't want to watch Friends on Netflix or whatever, you should be encrypting your connection, hiding your IP address when you're surfing the web, etc. Thanks again ExpressVPN for sponsoring a portion of today's video, and now back to the sleepover. Hey kids, we're back, and I forgot to tell you that I am sick. I'm pretty sure it's COVID, because Nick had COVID, and now I'm sick. So if I seem weirder than usual, please just accept me. So kids, opening scene of the movie is a shot from inside a locker, very artistic, of our 2 main characters, Julie and Hannah. They are besties, but we find out right off the bat that Hannah is actually moving to Vancouver.
I can't believe you're moving. Where is Vancouver anyway?
We also find out that Julie is about to start high school with no guy, no friends, and no image.
I never truly had an image, did I?
So it's the last day of school. Naturally, everybody comes out of their classrooms and throws colorful paper and like completely wigs out. And we immediately get to meet the girl's teacher, Mr. Corrado, who will come back later in a very Sketchball City way. Okay, just wait for it.
It's the summer reading list.
But they're leaving the school. Like they're leaving the middle school and going to the high school. You can't do that. So this other friend comes up holding an invitation to a sleepover at this girl Liz's house. And that's a problem, okay? Because our main character, Julie, she's trying to throw a sleepover the same night. And Liz, who by the way is played by Brie Larson, Liz is just way cooler than her. And she's totally bugging because she feels like people are gonna wanna bail on her party and go to Liz's.
Great. Stacy's gonna go to Liz's sleepover.
Which is like the worst. Do you remember that feeling? I do. Thanks a lot, Bridget. So we get to meet cool Liz and her cool friend Stacy. We just meet everybody right away. And they are popular and therefore insanely mean.
Hey, Yancy. My father's a lawyer. Oh? He can help you sue the diet pill company for non-performance.
Yeah, so this is Yancy.
Oh?
Where do I even begin? Not that I really even need to explain to you guys the trope that is Yancy, but well, here I go. She has a slightly higher body fat percentage than her friends, and so therefore she is the fat character and will be treated as such throughout the entirety of the rest of the movie.
Would you rather eat celery or a brownie?
Yeah, if you can't tell, kids, this movie aged super well. So guys, since cool Stacy will no longer be coming to Julie's sleepover because she's gonna go to Liz's, obviously, Julie invites Yancy as a last resort.
It's tonight, 7-ish.
Cool.
So then we meet this guy. I don't know his real name, I just know they call him SpongeBob throughout the whole movie.
SpongeBob.
He's just insufferable. He talks really stupid.
Where are the babes?
And he's like weirdly obsessed with the fact that he was once in a coma for 3 hours and he like asks everybody if they want to see pictures of it.
You want to see a picture of me in a coma? Last chance to see a picture of me in a coma. I've got tubes in nasty places.
And he finds out about Julie's sleepover and he really wants to come. What was that sound? I want all of you to attempt that sound. Here it is again for reference.
I can't make your overnighter. I'm doing the dance. Oh, right. Have fun. Have fun.
Did she just mock herself?
Did she just mock herself?
So they're walking home and Julie just can't believe that she has to do high school without Hannah. And you can really tell by how her lips move.
How am I supposed to do high school without you?
How am I supposed to do high school without you?
So they have this thing throughout the movie where they are constantly talking about the fact that once they get to high school, if you're a nerd, you sit by the dumpster. And if you're cool, you sit by the fountain or something.
The high school lunch spot.
And there's where I'll be sitting.
So Julie is just kind of lamenting about the fact that she is for sure going to have to sit at the dumpster at lunch with the trash and the chess nerds when all of a sudden she catches a glimpse of Steve, her crush. Oh, no, let me try that again. She catches a glimpse of this stunt double. This is Steve.
Steve is so plush.
Yeah, I think I missed the era where that word was a thing. Stop trying to make plush happen, Julie. It's not going to happen. And you can't sit with us. So Julie gets home to her mom, Jane Lynch.
We are having a ladybug party. A ladybug piñata.
I freaking love Jane Lynch, man. It was kind of weird to see her in this context, where she's not exactly being a comedian. She's just a normal mom, you know, who thinks her 14-year-old daughter wants ladybug decorations at her sleepover and wears those, like, insanely blue, fake-colored contacts that people wore back in the day. And we all had to pretend we couldn't tell.
Look at what she bought me. She seriously thinks I'm like 10 or something.
Julie, I got news for you. I think your mom actually might think you're 89. So guys, it's finally time for the sleepover, okay? Mom is leaving, the girls are gonna stay home with dad and brother, and we finally get to be bad.
No.
What's that? Not that kind of sleepover? Okay. Well, that's super lame. If only something hilarious would happen to make up for it.
Butt crack alert.
Butts are so funny. So guess what, guys? It's montage time, featuring nail polish, god-awful lipstick, hair clips, hottie of the month, more nail polish, fake tanner applied weird, frozen bra, even more nail polish, or is that whiteout? Ugly shoes, and coconut bra. I'm exhausted after that.
11 minutes later.
Sorry, what are we doing? I think I need to take a break and get some coffee so that we can pull an all-nighter. So let's take a short break, and when we come back, Steve Carell. See you there. Hey kids, we're back. And the girls get a visit from a rent-a-cop. By rent-a-cop, I mean Steve Carell.
So, who's responsible for all the sound?
Yeah, this was pretty early in his career as an actor, and like, despite the cheesiness of the film, I think Steve Carell is funny as ever. I got some laughs. So guys, do you remember Cool Stacy? You know, Cool Stacy, who was originally invited to Julie's party, but she backed out to go to Liz's party, but then she didn't even go to Liz's. She went to go hang out with this douchey guy who tried to make out with her, but then she rejected his advances, so he dumped her.
Out.
What?
Get out. We're over.
she shows up.
Stacy?
And by the way, this guy's real name is Thad, which is 100% gonna become a character. No offense if your name's Thad. Look who's joining the sleepover. So as I said, cool Stacy shows up with some really bad audio overdubbing.
Todd and I hooked up, so we decided to skip the dance.
Okay.
And she's super mean to Yancey again.
We had PE together all year. You're orange.
But to be fair, Yancey is totally orange. She's literally the color that I was all throughout high school.
You used too much Presto tan.
I thought it looked good. So Stacy comes with a little trick up her sleeve. She wants the girls from Julie's party to compete against the girls at Liz's party in a scavenger hunt.
Disgusting!
Object of the hunt, do a bunch of sketchy stuff that 14-year-old girls should not be doing. Get photos of everything to prove that you did it. Winner gets to sit at the cool lunch table next year in high school, and the loser gets to sit by the dumpsters.
Losers eat at the dumpsters.
That's right. They have to smell hot trash while eating their bread tangle of pizza.
I had to promise Ren 50 of my hot dog on a stick dollars to cover for us.
I'm sorry, what's good? What kind of dollars? So one of the things that the girls have to do for the scavenger hunt is to meet a guy online, more specifically on a website called datesafe.com, which don't worry, it's police approved. They have to meet a guy on there and they have to get him to buy them a drink at a club. Super chill for a 14-year-old. So they end up getting immediately matched with a guy named Dave.
Dave, handsome.
Really? Dave, of all the names. No offense if your name is Dave, okay? I just like, if I was a 14-year-old girl, I'd be looking for a name like Corey, Cody, Zach, Kyle, you know, names that were like consistent with my own age group. Dave. So Stacy dips out. She's gonna go be on the cool girl team, and Julie gets ready for her date with Dave.
I look like my mother.
Personally, I think you look more like your mother's arch nemesis from high school that she runs into sometimes at the grocery store, and they like are fake nice to each other and they make underhanded compliments about each other's genes and weights and overall lifestyles. Don't you guys think? Anyway, she looks ridiculous, but not to worry because Farrah comes in to save the day with a makeover. Hey, how'd she do that? I want to try. I can't do it. I'm a female protagonist. So friends, they're ready for their date with Dave, and Yancey finally says some words.
I think I can get us a car.
Thank God Yancey said words, okay? I was beginning to think that the only personality trait that the writers gave her was fat.
I'm fat.
Yeah, so Yancey's dad happens to own like a clown-size electric car that he told her she could use during emergencies.
Which it kind of seems like this is.
And they just gloss right over this. I want to talk to Yancey's dad. Okay. What would Mr. Yancey have to say about this? Listen, Yance, I know you're only 11, but the fact is I named you Yancey, and for that, I owe you one. So you take my itty-bitty clown car wherever you need. Okay? That's what I'm here for, pumpkin. Meanwhile, SpongeBob and his crew have snuck into Julie's house to look for her bras.
I found bras!
I saw on IMDb, someone wrote that this was a mistake in the movie because they said that bra would not fit Julie. Her boobs are bigger than that. Who says that? So the guys sneak in to find the bras, but then Julie's brother's like, dude, you do realize that there's no girls here to fill out the bras?
Where are the babes?
So this kid gets super mad. He feels like this diary raid skeeves.
This diary raid skeeves.
This is my favorite quote of the whole movie. Skeeves, man. Anyway, the kid knocks something over and Julie's dad hears it. But the girls are gone, okay? They're on their date with Dave, so the guys have to think fast. This is actually kind of hilarious. I will never not laugh at a guy impersonating a girl. I don't know why it's so funny, but it is very telling of the director because Spice Girls by this time were pretty outdated. To me, I just picture the director being like, hey, what do teen girls like? Last I checked, it was Spice Girls. So the guys see Julie's computer and they find out about the scavenger hunt, and you can imagine the hilarity and the wild times that will ensue.
No guys ever wave at me. I'm fat.
So you'll just date guys who like brownies.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, Yance, but that doesn't work, okay? I tried. My husband eats 100% fast food and brownies. And guess who plays the fat character in our show? This girl. Side note, can you believe just how toxic this is? I hated this crap when I was in high school. Oh, you're slightly chubbier than your friends, so that must mean you eat brownies all day. Fatties are only allowed to date other fatties. And people wonder why millennials have body issues. It's because of movies like this. It's because of Sleepover. So kids, it's time for the date, you know, with Dave. So the girls sneak into the club, but the meanies are way ahead of them in the scavenger hunt. Stacy already got 3 dudes to buy her a drink. 3 super cool baller dudes, okay? So they're like, we have to find Dave. And don't worry, they find him. Oh yeah, they find Dave. And it's their straight up teacher, Mr. Corrado.
Mr. Corrado's my date.
And I gotta say, it's kind of funny that they're like searching for a guy in a sea of people, almost like, where's Waldo? And Dave kind of looks like Waldo. So of course he doesn't recognize Julie because she looks exactly like herself, only with sunglasses. And you know guys, I gotta say, fellas, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but it's kind of nice. It's kind of refreshing to have the guys in a movie be the idiots for once. You know, like Dave here, who can't recognize the student that he sees every day. Steve Carell can't tell the difference between human teenage girls and mannequins. Julie's brother has 0 brain cells. Julie's dad can't fix the faucet, and SpongeBob is, well, he is. They even went so far in this movie as to have Dave become better looking by removing his glasses.
Who would have guessed?
Do you want to dance?
How's it feel, gentlemen? I mean, gentleman, because I'm pretty sure there's only one man watching today, but how does it feel to be portrayed as brainless in a movie for once? Comment below if you're the one gentleman watching today. My mom said no boys allowed, but we don't, like, have to tell her that you're here. So Dave finally realizes that Julie is Julie and reacts accordingly.
Hi, Mr. Corrado.
Dave, are you good? I have an inhaler. Breathe like me. Breathe like me, Dave.
Breathe like me.
So Dave decides he's gonna go ahead and help the girls out with their scavenger hunt, and he buys them a couple ginger ales and takes a photo because he too was once a losery loser who ate lunch with the garbage. And can I just say, I'm really glad and really relieved that they didn't make this super creepy. They came near the line, but they didn't cross the line, so thank you, Joe Nussbaum, director of this film. Well, kids, we have to take another short break, but when we come back, Yancey meets a boy.
Hey.
Don't miss it. Hey kids, we're back. As is Doug here. And by the way, I was today years old when I found out that narwhals are real. They actually exist in the wild and they are not a mythical creature, so. Shout out to Doug. So kids, while Yancey is waiting outside the club, she meets this guy. He moves speakers for a living.
I move speakers.
And he too has one character trait in that he is also not skinny, and therefore Yancey is good enough for him.
He talked to me like a guy talks to a girl that he maybe might like. Where'd he go? He left.
And that's the message that we deliver to little kids and expect them not to know what body shaming is.
What's with you? Your face is all glad looking.
Yeah, well, your hair is all your stylist colored you from blonde to red without using a filler looking. Sometimes I like to flex that I used to be a mediocre hairstylist. So Julie is about to leave the club when she spots her mother. Ew.
She can't wiggle like that. She's a mother.
It always kills me in movies when kids act like their parents are like holy angels that could never do anything wrong or fun. Because like when I was in high school, I vividly remember my mom being so drunk one time that she puked in my backpack. And I took it to school. I did. Sorry, Mom. So Julie hears her mom say that she needs to call home, so she's got to rush to make it there to be there for the phone call. So she hops on SpongeBob's skateboard, she rolls home, and on the way there, she zooms past Steve, who immediately falls in love with her.
Who was that?
How could he not? I mean, Julie has great knees.
You are Julie. Great knees, powerful brain. Great knees?
I don't know. So one thing that they have to do on the scavenger hunt is to steal a pair of Steve's underwear. So the mean girls use their brains and they grab some out of his gym bag. And Julie decides to scale a brick wall and enter his home. It's so romantic though, okay? Because while she's committing a felony and breaking and entering, he is looking for Julie in his yearbook.
Hobbies. Hot dogs, skateboarding, and napping.
What is it with this girl and hot dogs?
Hot dog on a stick.
Does she hang out with Jennifer Coolidge a lot?
Steve, what are you doing? There's like a gym full of girls waiting for you.
Yeah, but this girl has great knees.
Great knees. Great knees.
So she hides in Steve's shower, which naturally he goes to use. And she ends up watching him get undressed and straight up sees his butt. Which has to be so shocking for her. I mean, she's probably only seen her dad's butt at this point in her life, and we all know how that went. So she nabs his boxers. She ends up getting the patrol car sticker logo thing that she also needs to win the scavenger hunt. And they are winning against the mean girls who are busy running around with empty cups.
They're still in the game? Let's go!
I love an empty drink moment in a movie, almost as much as I love a SETI set. So the girls get to the high school dance where they will have the scavenger hunt tiebreaker, because they're pretty much tied up at this point. The mean girls get right in, but of course Julie and her friends can't because this girl, Ticket Girl. Yes, that's her name on IMDb, Ticket Girl. She won't let them in.
No ticket, no dance.
So to persuade Ticket Girl to let them into the dance, Julie decides to give her a motivational speech about how big of a losery loser she is.
I know who you are.
You do?
You're out here collecting tickets instead of being inside at the dance. You spend your weekends doing extra credit algebra. You play way too much Monopoly with your parents. And you've never eaten anywhere near the fountain. And in 4 years, I will be you unless I get into that dance.
You go. Get in there. Do it for all those who never could.
Give me a break, Ticket Girl. Can you show some self-respect? I would have. So they get to the high school dance, which is way better than a middle school dance.
They don't even let us wear shoes at our dances.
What? Why?
And they serve warm Kool-Aid.
Is that to wash down the hot dogs on sticks? So guys, Steve's there at the dance. He's looking for Julie. But while he's looking for her, this other girl asks him to dance.
Badness, look over there.
Badness, am I right?
No.
What's that?
What'd I say?
Sorry, forgot. So as this movie is drawing to a close, we get blessed with an insanely long dance scene where everybody like does the same dance move. But there are two important things about this little scene. A, Steve finally spots Julie, and B, Yancey gets a song dedicated to her.
To Yancey.
By the speaker moving guy.
From the speaker moving guy.
That's literally how they refer to him. This kind of makes my heart flutter a little bit because I was Yancey in middle school. My friends were all super fine and had the bodies of like 20-year-olds. And I had buck teeth and liked to dress up as a guy with a mullet and a goatee. So I feel you, Yancey.
Do you like brownies?
Are you kidding? Brownies are a very important food group.
I also like hot dogs on sticks. So basically I like corn dogs. Okay. Wait, this reminds me of the ending of Bring It On All or Nothing. Remember where the two fat characters bonded over how much they love like fried Twinkies or something?
You look like you eat Twinkies. I do.
I hate it. I hate people. I hate movies. Just kidding, I like movies a lot. So guys, Steve ends up winning the crown.
Choose your partners, guys. This song's reserved for you. Julie? Julie Corky? Want to dance?
Stop it. Stop it right now because that's the cutest thing I've ever seen. So Steve ends up gifting Julie his crown, which means she wins the scavenger hunt tiebreaker. She gets to slow dance with Steve, and he really likes her laugh.
I like your laugh.
Well, hold on, Steve. Which laugh do you like? Because Julie has a few. They're about to kiss, but Steve Carell comes up and kind of like ruins everything.
Hi, Mom. Could you pick me up?
Again, that's pretty funny. So the girls race back to the house in a very Mission Impossible fashion, and they pretend they're sleeping, which Yancey freaking sells it, man. Look at her. I 100% believe. I think she might have really fallen asleep when they shot this. Man, there's just so many things you do as a kid that you don't realize you're never gonna do again, and one of them is pretending you're sleeping because your mom's coming in. Now we just pretend we're sleeping when our husbands come in the room, right, ladies?
What was that? Want to try that one more time?
Mm-mm.
What? You think it's funny just to make jokes about me?
No, I wasn't.
Jamie, you're not sleeping. Wake up! Get back to entertaining these people.
No, you're right. So the movie ends with Steve sneaking up to Julie's treehouse, waiting there for God knows how long, and finally kissing her. Which I really don't want to watch because they are children. Or they're supposed to be anyway. I think Steve was like in his 20s at the time of shooting this movie. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan. And to bring it all home, they show the cool mean girls having to eat with the hot trash and the nerds. What a fun ending. Where's Doug? So the budget for this movie was $10 million, and the worldwide gross was $10,143,022. So they just barely made a profit. Not an insanely good profit. And you know, considering how hella stacked that cast was, I feel like they could have done better. But I blame SpongeBob.
What?
Ooh, here's a good one. Best movie ever. That movie was the best movie I have ever seen. It was cute and funny. Alexa Vega did a perfect job on acting as Julie. She is the best actress in the universe. My favorite part? The whole movie. I totally enjoyed the whole movie. If I had to pick one part, that would be the part where they were at the club and she's pretending to be a swimsuit model. That was funny. I was sort of sad at one point because her best friend was moving and she was crying at one point. I was starting to get teary-eyed at the part and almost cried. Seriously, I love that movie. It was the best movie ever. I can't wait for the DVD to come out. I love Sleepover. And you know she's serious because she spelled it with an L-U-V. And I feel really bad for mocking that review because I can definitely tell it was written by an 8-year-old. Well, guys, that's all for me today. Thanks for coming to my sleepover. I know we didn't get a chance to play MASH or freeze each other's bras, but maybe next time. Be sure to join me over on Patreon. You get extra vlogs, extra live streams, etc. Subscribe to my second channel for cool stuff. And let me know down below what you think of this movie, what other movies I should review. And be sure to yell at me for all the stuff I didn't mention. Me and Doug will see you guys in the next one. Peace out. And everything's a mess. I haven't sang that. I have not sang that. I don't sing that song when I don't do makeup in my videos. What is happening? Why would I do that to myself? It's outrageous. I'm not farting, by the way. It's a chair. Penny, are you good? When in Rome, do like the Romans do, and the Romans have all hit the hay. Okay, this is the intro, okay? God, I'm gonna break my freaking bed.